Hello. Let's talk about rediscovering myself. Okay, I don't want to look like Kramer from Friends, but my hair's curly. I dyed it, but I also went ahead and cornrowed and plaited it, so it got the curly look or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I'm off topic. So the thing about rediscovering myself, I'm going way back. Okay, I started researching what my name means. Okay, my name is Cecilia. So I'm going to share that on another video. But I decided to go kind of back to that so that I can get refocused. Okay, because as we go through life, we change positions. And what I mean by that is that, of course, when we're born, we're a baby, we're a daughter, then we can become an employee, we can become a wife, we can become a mother, we can become, like, for instance, I became a caregiver, and that was like the last major role or position I had that I totally immersed myself in. Okay. But I also was an employer that worked with soldiers during that time. So it was both were a little stressful. So my thing is, I'm like, okay, now I need to actually reevaluate who I am, where I am, my purpose, and where I'm going forward. Okay. So I decided to kind of like go back to, the even some of the different jobs that I had. Now, when I was growing up, when I was about 14, some of my friends, they were able to work in like McDonald's and Popeyes, some of the ones growing up in my neighborhood. So I was like, oh, I want to work. And I was telling my father, now I'm an only child. I was telling my dad and my mom that can I work? And they was like, no. And someone was even working at Geno's. I don't know if you all remember Geno's, but it was like a McDonald's, but they had a Geno Giant and a Geno Hero Burger. Oh my gosh! But anyway, off topic. Let's roll it back. So I was like, I really want to work. Now, this is also with me understanding that we also have the power to create what we want if we really focus in on it. So since my dad was like, no, you can't work fast food. No, that's not happening. Well, out of nowhere, and I'm telling you, out of nowhere, I was in ninth grade, age 14. My English teacher approached me, Mr. Lynch, and he was like, hey, would you be interested in working part time after school? And I was like, yeah, but you have to ask my dad because, he has a thing about me working, right? So he was like, okay. He said, well, I wanted you to know that I already talked to your typing teacher. Her name is Miss Cooper. And the thing is my wife, she's going to be starting the Neighborhood Planning Council number 5, which means the District 5. And she needs a junior clerk. And she asked me, which student did I feel, would be great for that position, who had a good command of English, because this is my English teacher, and also who could type. So he had already had me in mind, because like I said, he told me he already went to my typing teacher, and she said, yes, she can type. Now, again, out of nowhere. Now, I told you I was a little upset and disappointed that I couldn't work at fast food because I was open and willing to. But I still wanted to work. I just wanted to. So what happened? So I tell my dad, and so my father was like, okay, well, we need to sit down and meet. So my English teacher invited me over to his home to meet his wife so my dad can ask whatever questions, and that's what happened. And so we went over, I never forget, they lived on Oglethorpe. We went over to their home. They were very hospitable. My dad came in with his list of questions, and he was satisfied to the point that he gave me permission to work. So I was able to work, like I wanted to. And this was considered DC government. Okay. So I'm going into the DC government age of 14. And actually, it benefited me even now with my federal service. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was able to do 2 hours. It was 4 days a week, 2 hours. I was the junior clerk. Okay, so now we go over to me working. Now, first it was at Paul Junior High School, and it wasn't that far from my school, my junior high school. So I just hop on the bus, but my father would not let me come home on a bus. So he would come and pick me up because my father was retired when I was in the ninth grade. So both of my parents was home. So I couldn't do no shenanigans like anybody else probably could have done in junior high and high school because both of my parents was home. So now I'm working and I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting work skills, administrative skills, working with my teacher's wife. Okay. And also she even taught me how to make how to knit collars. Okay. So we were doing a lot of things and I really enjoyed the experience. So after probably about a year, then she said that she was going to not do that and it was going to be transferred over to another lady. Okay, she was going to be in charge of it. And so that meant that the actual office was going to move from that school to another school. And I'm going to tell you about that in the next video.